Educational Insights, a Superintendent's Podcast. Hosted by Brooke Olsen-Farrell. Episode number 14. Slate Valley Theatre Programs.
Hi there, Slate Valley. I'm Brooke Olsen-Farrell, Superintendent of Schools, and I'm here today with Mr. Muller, Mr. Glennon, who are the theater advisors, and some of our theater students who are going to share some exciting news about the program here at the middle and high school and the upcoming performance next week. So, I don't know, Mr. Muller, Mr. Glennon, do you want to tell us a little bit about the program here in Slate Valley?
Yeah, we are a 7-12 program here, and in fact, our production this time through cast and crew, we have members of our cast and crew for every single one of those grades, seniors down to 7th grade. At the moment, we have 23 actors and crew members, and it's growing a lot. I took over this program a couple of years ago with 4 students. And so we've gone from there, and I could not be happier with that kind of growth. We do 2 plays a year. We'll have our one next Wednesday at 7 o'clock, and then another one on May 2nd. Anybody who's willing to, work on lines and show up 3 afternoons a week, we take them and we try to mold them into the best actors they can be.
What do you attribute the growth of the program to?
Honestly, a lot of it's been having the middle school, and these are 3 freshmen that we have right here that started acting for me as 7th graders. The first play, I maybe should have given them a little too much. It was an all monologue play. I always tell them, hey, you don't have that many monologues after doing that show. Because that's tough to do, just get out on stage and be by yourself like that. But these guys have stuck with it. They were able to do that, and they've stuck with it. And being able to have that and see the amount of fun we have on stage too. I think that's really what's led this program to grow so much from that.
And Mr. Glennon, you're new to the program this year. What inspired you to join it?
Well, this is my first year teaching at Fairhaven, but Mr. Muller asked me. We're both in the English department, and I had some experience in theater when I was in high school. I haven't had that much directing experience, but it's been a pleasure assisting Mr. Muller with the play, and I've been really impressed at how much these students have been able to take on and how enthusiastic they all are. It's just been a lot of fun. And we're excited. I'm excited to see how this show turns out next Wednesday.
Yeah, great. So students, can you introduce yourselves and maybe tell us a little bit about why you got involved with the program?
I'll go first. My name's Uriah West. I got involved with the program 7th grade because I wanted to do acting for a while. That's my 2 things is acting and music. So I joined in 7th grade, I believe. My first play I did monologue, which it was a play about the quarantine during COVID-19, and my story was I was a football player, and my neighbor didn't like me, and then my neighbor's dog escaped, and I caught her dog and brought it back, and then she liked me. And I did so good in that Mr. Muller decided that he wanted me to be one of his lead actors. And so, next play, which was...
Well, we did the children's theater, but we had the importance of being earnest last.
Which was, I was the lead role in it. I was Ernest. And it was fun. The other lead role was him. And I think it was pretty fun. We did it well. And we practiced hard. Yeah, it was pretty nice.
And often we pick plays that are there are websites like Broadway Publishing and Pioneer Publishing that they write plays specifically for high school students. But that was kind of like a dream of mine to do that play last year, because I've always wanted to do it since I read it in high school. And it was after they were, as you mentioned, doing that monologue, it was guys, this is a 60-page play. It's a lot, and it's a 2-hour show. but I think you guys could really handle this, and they fully proved me right on that with what they were able to do last year.
Fantastic.
It was a pretty large play. The booklet we had for it was up. I don't know if you or not. But it was a stack of papers that was double-sided, and it was like this thick, and it was like this size font, so it was a lot of words.
So you had to memorize all of that?
And some of the lines were like half of a page, and it was
Wow.
pretty difficult, but we did it.
I think on the show, I fed you a total of 2 lines for the entire show for the 2 hours, and that, I mean, is incredibly impressive, especially as you were an 8th grader last year doing that. So that was, these guys have just been absolutely fantastic to work with the whole time.
Yep. And my name is James Shorey, and the way I got into theater was my love for theater arts, and especially music, like him. And I got into it, and as he said, the first play we ever did was that monologue play, Born Teens, I think it was called. And my character was a boy who missed going on the baseball field with his dad and really couldn't do anything. And after that monologue, we did, first of all, children's theater, and then I, as he said, was his side character named Algernon in the play. And so I'm thinking about it, I think you only fed me like 1 or 2 lines.
Yeah, no, like I said, you guys had this, because James, I mean, you don't just act for us, do you?
No.
Well, what else do you?
I also did Pride Young Artist, and I acted for Rutland New Theater over in, obviously, Rutland.
Oh, it's really fantastic.
And you know, if it weren't for this guy doing it, I probably wouldn't have gone out for it as well. But pretty much thanks to this guy, he really awoke in my love for theater.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, we're doing that show right now. I'm really excited to do it with him, and really excited to do it with everyone. And yeah, I really loved doing this throughout my 7th through current years right now. And I really wish more people would join.
Definitely. Hi, I'm Shira. I also got into theater in 7th grade. And I think I just got into it because I like trying new things, especially in arts, and challenging myself. Like, I don't think I'm naturally too good at acting, but like being able to like grow, learn from everyone who's really very talented. So it's been really enjoyable.
So what do you have in store for us next week?
All right, so our play this next week is called I Hate Shakespeare by Stephanie Ferry. And it is a take on several Shakespeare plays. Specifically, we have it in 2 acts. It's about a 40-minute to an hour-long play. In the first act, we do a take on Hamlet, because we have our Hamlet right there, who gets heckled as he's trying to do his to be or not to be speech. Actually, fun thing about this for our casting this year, he's heckled by his sister. So he gets heckled and then has to explain kind of what Hamlet's all about. And then the rest, and in Act 2, he tells the story of Macbeth to the heckler, which we have our Macbeth and Lady Macbeth right here joining us. And then the rest of the scenes are kind of all sketch. They're sketch comedy kind of sketches. For example, we retell one Shakespeare play is the Jerry Springer Show. We have another show as The Dating Game. Another Shakespeare play is The Dating Game. And interspersed throughout, we have Zombie Theater, which, you'll just have to see what that is. So it's a nice little comedy that will take, like I said, about 40 minutes to an hour. It has some very funny modern adaptations of different Shakespeare plays.
It's very silly, but there is a lot of information in there if you want to learn about Shakespeare, many of his plays and the plots of them, and it's educational. And sometimes it's miseducational, or making fun of Shakespeare and things about him that some people don't like. But in the end, it's a very pro Shakespeare play, and hopefully by the end, you'll be saying, instead of I hate Shakespeare, you'll be saying I love Shakespeare.
So what time should people be here to see you?
So our show starts at 7 o'clock.
Wednesday.
On Wednesday the 20th, yeah.
Okay.
I think the doors will open around 6 or so. Come on in, it's absolutely free to attend. Donations will be accepted. But yeah, come on out because you're going to have a lot of fun seeing the things like puppets and trash cans and lots of and again, you mentioned educational and one very non-educational scene.
That's true.
Teaching about the life of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And it's not just these 3 actors in the show. There's how many actors do we have total?
I think 17 actors and 6 crew members.
It's a big group.
Great.
Everybody's doing a great job.
So as you are aware, we don't have an actual theater or auditorium here at the middle school, high school. So where do these performances take place?
Well, there was originally space set up in the band room, but I thought that was really kind of thinking small because that's, going to fit like 30 people here. So we do ours in the gym, which if you've been to one of our shows before we had these mics, we now have wired mics to make sure that connect to our overhead projector so that you can really be heard. And in fact, our lead stage manager, as I call her, Olivia Benson, she's fully in with our tech and sets that all up for us. So that's given some real world skills out to our students there. But yeah, we do fully our shows in the gym on the stage that we use for graduation. So
Okay.
I mean, that's really one of our challenges is that, we can't like call that out and back every single day, and especially with them redoing like the floors right now. It's we make work with what we can.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you do for props? I mean, I'm assuming a lot of them are made by students. How does that work? Do you get help from other classes in the school?
So, one of our acts in this play that's coming up on the 20th, we had a slideshow that was made by the digital arts class here at the school. And most of our props, like the castle in our play, I think we got from Benson.
We did actually get from Benson. I was actually, for another play that I did up there. It was painted by Elizabeth Schuyler up there and made by some of the kids actually as well. I say kids, there are current seniors and juniors who at the time were the ones who made this. And we have some daggers that are being used that were made by a student. We have puppets that have been in both of our classrooms that have been donated.
Yeah, we've kind of just crowdsourced all of the props together and found, use what we can find, what we have to buy, what we can, have some students bring in and volunteer.
We've had some
wherever we can
costumes.
find them. Yeah, costumes as well.
They've been donated by some parents and things as they've committed.
So you're really doing all of this on a shoestring budget, which makes it even more impressive that you're able to put all of this together.
Yeah, we're going for a lot of our imagination on these things, but then also adds the comedy because this is really a slapstick kind of a silly comedy. So for instance, in our Macbeth scene that we do, instead of having a cauldron, it's a large trash can with a student inside of it, doing things from inside the trash can to simulate what would be the witches in Macbeth.
Very cool. Although there is no charge for the event, we certainly welcome donations to fund future theater productions.
And please, come out on the 20th to the Fairhaven High School Gymnasium to see.
I hate Shakespeare.
It'll be a show you shall wish to enjoy tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow.
Hi, Slate Valley. I'm Brooke Olsen-Farrell, Superintendent of Schools, and we're here again to talk about our fabulous theater programs throughout the district. We first heard in part 1 about our middle school and high school theater program, and today we're here to talk with Cynthia Hutchins, who is our advisor for the Fairhaven Grade School Theater Program. So welcome, Mrs. Hutchins.
Thank you.
great that you can be here today. And I don't know if you can share a little bit with our viewers about what inspired you to create this program or work in this program and what your background is.
So my background, in high school, I was part of theater. I was in a couple different plays, Music Man, 12th Night, and I did a lot of stuff in the pit orchestra. I'm the music teacher at the grade school, so music is kind of my thing in my world. What really got me into being the advisor for the drama club, the student interest. Kids were asking if we could have a drama club, who's going to do the drama club. So kids asked, and I rarely say no. So
Yeah, it's pretty hard to say no to kids.
yeah.
So how many kids do you have involved and what grades?
We've been doing drama. I've been running the drama club since 2021, I think. And this year, this fall, I had upper 30s that were interested. Unfortunately, I'm one person, so we had to do a smaller group. So right now I got 22 kids that are involved. We are working on 2 different plays. One is Alice in Wonderland, and the other is Merlin and the Dragons. So each group, there's 10 to 12 in. So I see one group on Mondays and one group on Wednesdays. And the students are in grades 3 through 6.
So, do you have any performances in the near future or?
We do. We're going to be staging both of those plays on January 15th at 6:30 in our Fairhaven Grade School cafeteria. We're currently working on making a really cool theater vibe in what used to be my old music classroom. I've been moved to a different part of the building. We're getting some stage curtains. Our custodians put up staging, so the kids get a neat theater experience.
So what are some of the unique work rewards or challenges of teaching elementary students theater?
One of the coolest rewards is you get to see kids in a different light than you do in the classroom. I do our theater program in a multi-grade level, always in a multi-grade level setting. So sometimes they're interacting with kids that they wouldn't generally interact with. So you get to see a whole different side of them. That's also a challenge too. Some of them can be really great characters.
Absolutely. And so how do you generate the props and the costumes and
our props, we have kids that really want to be on stage and be in the spotlight. And then I always have kids that want to be involved in drama, in theater, but they don't want to be up on the stage. So I have kids that are my designated stage crew, and they're the ones that create our props and our background. Generally, we're using paper, we're using cardboard. I try to keep it as economical, budget friendly as possible. So we're not going to go buy plywood and 2x4s and building all of the things. We're making it with cardboard, we're painting, lots of arts and crafts.
so it's kind of crowdsourcing.
Yeah, what we can find.
Right.
The costuming has always been parent provided. So when we get closer to the show, I'll send a letter home to our family saying, this is what I would like your kid to find for costuming. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Last spring we had some chickens in our show. We got chicken headbands and I asked them all to wear yellow. And it was great. It's elementary theater. We're all having fun and it's a great experience.
Right. So you must see changes in students when they start the program to when they finish the program for the year. What are those changes you might see in students?
Oh, absolutely. There's confidence. I have one young lady who is currently our lead for Alice in Wonderland. She has been in all 3 of our fall/winter plays. The first was The Enchanted Bookshop, where she wanted to be part of our show, but she was really hesitant. And Deb Williams was my co-director. There was a lot of pep talks and a lot of confident building to get her on stage for her one line. And then the next play, she wanted to have a bigger part. And she got a bigger part. It was still a small part. And she jumped right in when we had a student who decided he wanted to drop out of drama club. She jumped right in, learned that part. She worked so hard memorizing the lines last minute, and now she's gained all of the confidence and skill that she's our Alice, and she's absolutely wonderful. It's really cool to see kids start being afraid to be on stage, and then they develop the skills and the confidence to be the center of the stage.
That's fantastic. So how do you go about choosing plays to perform? Like, what's the kind of criteria?
There's two different websites, companies that I pick from, and they have all of their plays, categorized by which group of kids they're for. So I'm generally picking elementary plays. I'm looking for small casts and casts that aren't, it has to be 10 men, 10 women, kind of can go with the flow, because I never know who's going to sign up.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are some of the most memorable moments that you've had?
Some of them, last spring we did a introductory theater plays I opened up the drama club for grades 1 through 6. Our older kids did Dorothy in Oz, and the younger kids did Benjamin the Hiding Bunny. So it was just for kids to get the theater experience. There wasn't a lot of really hard lines to memorize. Each story had a narrator that would, and Benjamin said, and then Benjamin would echo back. So during that play, we had a group of kids who were munchkins in the Dorothy part. They were great. They were really, really creative in how they portrayed the munchkins. It was my favorite part of that entire drama experience last spring, because they had the whole audience going. They really stepped out of their, who they are, and they really portrayed the characters that they were asked to portray. It was awesome.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah.
So the show or shows are January 15th.
Yep.
Do we have a time?
6:30.
6:30. Farrington Grade School
Cafeteria.
No cost for attendance, but you would take donations, possibly.
Call Mrs. Tomasi in the office if you would like to donate to the theater program.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us today, Mrs. Hutchins.
Thanks for having me.
To see what happens on January 15th.
It's going to be a good show.
All right. Until next time, Slate Valley.
Slate Valley Unified Union School District, November 2024.